In the previous episode, we see Princess Elise was feeling bad when she saw a lady with Prince Kaylee in the garden. Then she asked to Isaka about lady. Isaka tells her that the lady is Prince Kaylee mother. She was shocked, and think that I am so stupid. Then Isaka saying to her that I am just sorry. I couldn't tell you beforehand. You see, the nature of the circumstances, I had no idea. It would cause such a misunderstanding. Then Isaka said to Elise, please, have a seat. Princess Elise feeling uneasy. Then she asked to Isaka that may I ask, what circumstances you are referring to? Isaka feeling hesitant. Then he told her, at the moment, Prince Kaylee has been overseeing the duties of the North King. As the position is vacant. Although, Le Pen the current is still here in the palace. She is currently unable to carry out her duties. There is also no successor in place. Princess Elise asked to him the woman I saw in the garden, Kaylee mother, is her name Le Pen? Isaka replied to her that yes. And she was a mother, not just to Kaylee, but to all of us northerners as well. However, ever since that day, her memories have all faded. She doesn't even remember that Kaylee is her son. Elise was worried and say how in the world. Then Kaylee tells her that she regains her memories from time to time. But she and Kaylee rarely speak, as their relationship had already been strained. Anyhow, on a different note, people in the north don't have lovers outside of marriage. It's considered to be completely inconceivable. Elise weeping and say that I see, it's something that happens so often in the central continent, that it seems I was being presumptuous. Isaka smile and say it's quite all right, Your Highness. At night time, when Princess Elise sitting on the bed for sleeping, she thought that I wonder, what made Kaylee and his mother stop talking to each other? The way they looked at each other, made it seem like, there was so much affection between them. Poor Kaylee, is there any way I can help him? Next morning, Kaylee was training with his sword. Elise was stand on the backside of the killer, and peek him. At that moment, Kaylee also seeing towards her. Then Elise came near to him, she was nervous. Then she say I just wanted to apologize for the way I acted during the dinner. Ah. Sorry. Am I getting in the way of your training? My apologies. She gave him apologies, written in Papa. Then she thought that I should have said that in the northern language. But I am not fluent enough yet. Perhaps Isaka should have come along with me. Why didn't I think of that earlier? She was worried and think that what I should do. Kaylee gazed towards Elise and his cheeks blush. He think that why does my heart ache? After that, he again start his training and swing his sword so fast. Elise appreciate him with clapping, and say wow. She was surprised and say he is so fast, that my eyes can't keep up. At that time, a sparrow sitting on the Princess Elise's shoulder, Sparrow replied to Elise and tells her that I know, right? It seems like only yesterday, that Kaylee cried while training. But he is all grown up now. Princess Elise say that Kaylee used to cry. Sparrow replied to her that yup. He couldn't swing his sword properly, when he was young. And so, he would always end up falling. Whenever that happened, the poor boy would always cry without making a sound. Kaylee glance on Princess Elise when she was smiled, the sparrow feel danger and she flinch. Sparrow flutter, and say eep. He came all the way here. Princess Elise listen that Isaka order the guard that don't let him get away. If you can't catch him alive, then hunt him down and kill him. Princess Elise was upset and thought I definitely just heard someone shout hunt and kill. What's going on? She stepped forward towards Kaylee. At that moment, they saw a wolf moving towards them. Princess Elise was surprised and think that the alpha wolf I ran into on the way here. Kaylee swing his sword to attack on wolf. Princess Elise stand in front of Kaylee and say no. Kaylee, please, put your sword down. Kaylee saying to Elise that things dangerous, step aside. The guards was ready to attack on wolf and fling him. Guards came near to the wolf and say hey, look. It's here. We found the wolf. Princess Elise requested to Kaylee that could you please send for Isaka. Kaylee didn't understand the situation, he remained silent. Then Prince Kaylee ordered the guard that everyone dismissed. And bring Isaka here. Now. And whip the sword. Isaka enters into the door. He was shocked that the guards was stand on the both sides in a row. He stepped forward towards the Elise. He was worried and thought this is the same situation as before, but keeping things under wraps won't be easy this time. Princess Elise asked to Isaka. Could you bring something for the wolf to eat, please? It seems he hasn't eaten anything for the past couple of days. Isaka replied to her that of course, Your Highness. She was so happy and say thank you. Then Princess Elise said to Wolf that they are bringing something for you to eat, so stay still, all right. Wolf was slump and closed his eyes. After that, Princess Elise sitting near the wolf. Kaylee was shocked to see that. Then Wolf said to Princess Elise that I know, this is rude of me to ask, but, could you help my dying mate and cubs first? She replied to him, that I will tell them, to leave some food near, where you pack is. But you know, as the pack leader, you need to take care of yourself, first if you want to protect your family. Then Princess Elise asked to Kaylee, could I trouble you for some water? Then Kaylee gave her a water cane, and she was thankful to him. Wolf drinking the water gulp, but Kaylee didn't understand that what happened. Then Kaylee remember his past life, when he was in childhood and his mother was sitting under the tree. And a cat sitting near his mother. Princess Elise was so happy, when Wolf stand up. On the other side, Princess Elise was thought that, Kaylee probably figured out about my ability, what should I do? Then Kaylee saying to Princess Elise that, I know, you have gotten along with animals, ever since you were very little. But even so, how could you think of getting involved in such a dangerous situation? Then Elise seeing towards the wolf and say the wolf had the same scar, as the one I met on the way here. Since he backed off peacefully then. I thought, he would do the same again, if we gave him some food. On the other side, Kaylee thought that she is still hiding her power from me, it seems, I haven't earned her full trust yet. After that, Kaylee came near to the Elise and put hand under her chin, and say that don't hang your head in shame. You have done nothing wrong, Elise. After some time later, she was sitting in her room, Kaylee came there and say that we were able to resolve things peacefully, without shedding a single drop of blood. Elise thought that all thanks to you, all thanks to me. No one's ever said that to me before. Then Isaka came here, and said to Kaylee that, I am sure, you will become a great purr. The ceremony been set for the day after tomorrow. So, it won't being before you officially gain that title, Princess Elise. Elise was surprised and say, I will become a purr the day after tomorrow. Will I be able to become a good one? At that time, a guard opened the door and say please, pardon my instruction at this hour. But, I have urgent news. Kaylee was surprised and asked to the guard that what is it? Then the guard and Kaylee. Talking to each other. Elise was worried and asked to Isaka that would it be possible, to know what they are talking about. Isaka was surprised and say oh. Then Isaka tells her that it seems the tree, Karista, has been rapidly withering. Since, the start of spring. Elise think the start of spring. That's when I first came to the northern continent. Elise was upset when she listened about Karista. Then Kaylee asked to Elise that are you feeling all right? She say you. And remain silent. Then she thought that, the reason Karista is shriveling up. Maybe due to my birthmark. She remember, when she lived in Central Continent, and the Central King always used to say that this birthmark could either be a blessed or a curse. Isaka came near to Elise, and said to her that it's probably not because of that, Princess Elise. She was afraid and say that I don't know why I have this birthmark, but if Ian causing harm, because of it, then Kaylee said to Elise that even if your birthmark is linked to Karista powers, we can't know for sure if what's happening to the tree is because of it. Then Elise closed her eyes and thought that I wonder why the Central King say, be useful for once. And marry the Prince of the North. Kaylee isn't blaming me for this. After that, Kaylee said to her although there are many rumors surrounding Karista, few truly know much about the tree in detail. Maybe you could use this chance to learn more about your birthmark. Isaka told her that we have books regarding Karista power here. I am sure they can help us find answers. Then Isaka put the map on table and said to her that this is a map of the early days. She replied to him that, I see. I was thinking we could learn more about Karista power today. So, this is how the world looked before it was split into the 5 continents we have today. Isaka said to her that yes, and Karista is said to have existed before the concept of continents was formed. Karista first took root in the central continent, before growing into a large tree, now situated between the present-day northern and eastern continents. Then one day, Karista bore a fruit, and the southern continent summoned evil beings, hoping to steal it. That was how the southern continent came to be the uninhabitable land that it is today. Elise was surprised and asked to him that who ended up obtaining the fruit. Isaka replied to her that it probably fell to the ground and became nourishment for Karista herself. Then she asked to him about nourishment. Then Isaka reading the book and replied to her that the fruit born of perseverance shall follow the laws of nature and return to the ground, where it therein shall become compost, that brings the dying tree back to life. After that, Elise say so, the fruit symbolizes the Surkoff life in nature. Isaka say indeed, it can be inferred that the fruit, that Karista bore before the tree died, fell to the ground and became the nourishment needed to give birth to a new life. Elise say that does that mean the withering Karista is currently in need of this fruit again? Isaka replied to her that possibly, so however, we have no way to tell if such a fruit actually exists today. Though your birthmark could very well be the jet to finding it. Elise tells him that I am afraid. I don't have any powers at all, so. Isaka smiled and gazed towards Elise sweating because of the birthmark. She thought that, can my ability to communicate with animals be the key to finding the fruit of Karista? But it's still too early to reveal my power. For the sake of the animals, I need to continue hiding it. At that moment one guard came here, and said to Elise purr. Elise was shocked that what happened. Then she glanced towards Isaka. Isaka was also surprised and say it seems. Then Isaka thought that I see rumors of her ability have already spread. Then Isaka told Elise that the guy found a rare golden rabbit, that fell off a cliff, and wishes to give it to you as a wedding gift. Rabbit shriek. And say hey, let go of me, you devils. I am not letting you guys get away with this. Elise say. The poor little fella seems like it's hurt. We should get it treated as soon as possible. Then Elise said to Isaka that could you please tell him that, while it's okay to bring in injured animals, he doesn't have to offer them like trophies to me. Isaka smile and say you really care about the animals, don't you? After that, Isaka say yes, your highness. Isaka said to the guard that hold still. I can't figure out where you are hurt. If you are moving so much. Then the rabbit squirm again and say let me go. I don't need your dran help. I am fine. On my own, so let me go. After that, Elise caught the rabbit and say still, you should get treated. Rabbit say eep double exclamation mark. There are wolves here. Elise tells him that they are guarding the area. When Elise put hand on rabbit backside, rabbit say I am scared. Mommy, it hurts. My whole body hurts. I am scared. Then rabbit tremble and squeeze. After that, rabbit fainted and Elise was upset and asked to him that everything going to be okay. Bunny, she shake the rabbit and say hey. Wake up. No. Then she pray and say, please, save this poor bunny. Please, don't let it die. Tear came out from her eyes. When the tears dropped on her hands, a golden light spread around her hands, and she was surprised and say that what's happening? Then she touched the bunny and say are you alright? Bunny sat so warm. What is this? What did you do with your hands? Then Elise seeing towards her hands, she was surprised and say my hands. Bunny say that yes, they suddenly got all nice and warm and made my feel better. She was shocked and sat there's light coming out of them. What's going on? Rabbit say wait, you didn't do it intentionally. Elise was upset and think is it, because I wished so hard. After that, Bunny said to her that I feel much better now. Can I stay here for a while? You know, I am kind of an outcast. The other rabbits don't treat me like I am one of them. Elise thought Phoebe it seems, it's herd abandoned it. Then Elise reply rabbit that sure. You can stay here as long as you would like. Rabbit was surprised and say why. Elise asked to him that what do you mean? Rabbit replied to her that I was mean to you. Why are you being so nice to me? Elise say, because we are friends. Rabbit say friends. Wah. Then Rabbit came near to the Elise and She put hand on Rabbit head, and asked to him that what's wrong. Rabbit weeping and told her that I have never been friends with anyone before. Elise say, to celebrate our friendship, how about I name you? Let's see. How about Goldie? Rabbit say that sounds really tawdry. After that, Rabbit close his eyes and, Elise seeing towards the window, where she see the sunlight and say Amber. Rabbit say Amber. Elise replied to him that yes. Don't you think the amber sunset looks just like you? I will call you Amber from now on, okay? Rabbit say I guess that's fine.